Diet culture and toxic wellness trends can make you feel like you're at war with your own body, constantly doubting yourself and chasing impossible standards. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm Kathy Salata, a recovered anorexia survivor and educator, and this is Freedom to Nourish. Each week we'll have real conversations, share stories, and give you tools to finally make peace with food and respect your body. No more food rules, no more body shame, just the freedom to be yourself again. Welcome back to Freedom to Nourish. I'm your host, Kathy Salata. And in our last episode, we talked about why diets don't work, not just for you, but for almost everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something that offers real hope, a different way of thinking about health. Now, the reason I developed this episode is I was at my local doctor. I had a very bad flu with an intense sore throat. So I go to the doctor. I'm in the waiting room and I see this poster. It's a man looking out at a beautiful sunset. And it says, "Lose weight, get your life back." And I thought to myself, is that the magic pill? If everyone loses weight, everyone will be healthy? And I knew deep down that's not true. There's so much more to health. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the difference between weight normative care and weight inclusive care. Now, this is going to require a big shift in mindset. So I invite you to keep a very open mind. This shift can free us from the endless cycle of shame, dieting, and disappointment. Now, let me start with a story shared by researchers. I did a lot of research preparing for this podcast. Let's take a woman, we're going to call her Jasmine. She goes in for a doctor's appointment. She's gained 5 pounds since her last visit. Her blood pressure is slightly higher than before, probably because of the stress of gaining that 5 pounds and having to tell her doctor, but her labs are a little bit outdated. She decides she almost doesn't go to the doctor because the last time she was told, like so many times before, to just diet. Jasmine says, "I feel like such a failure." And here's the heartbreaking part. She went to the doctor for her migraines, which is the actual reason she needed care, and that was almost left untreated because she was too ashamed to walk into the doctor's office. Now, this is an example of weight normative care. It's the idea that weight, specifically weight loss, is the primary marker of health. Doctors, guidelines, and even public health campaigns push it. The problem? Research shows it doesn't work. Weight loss interventions almost always fail long term. And worse, they lead to weight cycling, shame, and avoidance of the medical care that we so desperately need. Weight normative care also fuels weight stigma, the belief that larger bodied people are lazy, unhealthy, or undisciplined. Studies have shown that stigma itself is harmful, increasing stress, raising cortisol, and even driving people away from the health promoting behaviors like exercise and balanced eating. Now, let's be a little open-minded and contrast this with a weight-inclusive approach. This is where the focus is on behaviors, well-being, and access to care, not the number on the scale. A framework you might have heard of, health at every size. Now, there's been a lot of randomized controlled trials out there that show when people are supported in adopting weight-neutral health behaviors, things like enjoyable movement, intuitive eating, and body respect, their health improves. We're talking about better blood pressure, healthier cholesterol, reduced disordered eating, and improved mood and self-esteem. And the best part, these improvements happen without the downsides of dieting. No harmful weight cycling like we talked about in the last episode, no shame-based messaging, just sustainable, compassionate care. Now, for me, as someone who's lived through the destructive cycle of dieting and recovery, this is more than research. It's personal. The weight inclusive model says you are worthy of care right now. Your health is not defined by your body size, and lasting well being comes from how you live, not how much you weigh. Again, let me say that again. Well being comes from how you live, not how much you weigh. So, what can you do with this? If you've ever dreaded stepping on that scale at a doctor's office, know that you're not alone. You can ask your provider to focus on your labs, your symptoms, and your overall well being, and to skip the weigh in unless it's medically necessary. And if you're a provider listening, I encourage you to reflect. Are you practicing in a way that truly benefits your patients, or are you unintentionally causing harm by just centering on weight? Now, in our next episode, we're going to zoom in on a community that feels these pressures more than most: military service members. I come from a family of military service, and this hits home to me. We're going to explore how strict body composition standards create cycles of weight loss and regain, with serious consequences for both health and performance. So until then, please remember, health is not a number on a scale. It's how we live, it's how we feel, and how we connect with our bodies. If you're ready to step into a kinder, fuller life, subscribe now and join me each week for Freedom to Nourish. Because your body deserves respect, your story deserves to be heard, and you deserve to live fully right now.